least of these, the weary and the weak. And it would be a tragedy for me to turn away. And all my needs you have supplied. When I was dead, you gave me life. How could I not give it away so freely? And I'll follow you in the homes of the broken, follow you in the world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. Follow you into the world. Use my hands, use my feet to make your kingdom come to the corners of the earth until your work is done. 'Cause faith without works is dead, and on the cross your blood was shed. But how could I not give it away so freely? And I'll follow you in the homes of the broken, follow you in the whole world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God. Follow you in the world. I give all myself, and I give all myself, and I give all myself to you. And I give all myself, yes, I give all myself, and I give all myself to you. And I give all myself, and I give all myself, I give all myself to you. Now, for you in the homes of the broken, for you in the world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God, for you in the world. Now, for you in the homes of the broken, for you in the world. Meet the needs for the poor and the needy, God, for you in the world.
I will be reading from Matthew 4:18-20. As Jesus was walking beside the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon called Peter and his brother Andrew. They were casting a net into the lake, for they were fishermen. "Come, follow me," Jesus said, "and I will send you out to fish for people." At once they left their nets and followed him.
Luke 18:18-22. Jesus speaks to the rich young man. A certain ruler asked him, "Good teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" "Why do you call me good?" Jesus answered. "No one is good except God alone. You know the commandments. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not murder. You shall not steal. You shall not give false testimony. Honor your father and mother." "All these I have kept since I was a boy," he said. When Jesus heard this, he said to him, "You still lack one thing. Sell everything you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come, follow me.
I will be reading from Matthew 16:24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, "Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me."
Because this is a different kind of love and commitment that Jesus is expecting here, that God is expecting here. And it's not necessarily the psychologically friendly message of the modern church, right? It's just not. In John chapter 14, verse 15, Jesus again is chit-chatting with everybody. And this is what he has to say to his disciples about how this kind of love works. John chapter 14, verse 15. If you love me, keep my commands. Wow. Jesus, you're supposed to be very reasonable and friendly. Why would you say something like that? You told us in Matthew chapter 22, you told us that the greatest commandment was to love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and that the second was like it, to love your neighbor as yourself. And so I have to love myself. This is what's really important. If I love myself, then I will be able to love my neighbor. Right? That's kind of the good psychology answer. And every now and then as a pastor, I have talked to people because I've noticed that they really hate themselves. And they really struggle to love the people around them and to maintain positive relationships because they have such self-loathing. And there's some truth in that. But how do they change that? How do they change that? By doing a lot of navel gazing? Looking at their own belly button and making sure that they really love themselves. Like take themselves for a spa day. Maybe get their hair done. You know, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? They're supposed to obey Christ's commandments. If they get busy actually investing in a practical way and loving the people around them, they'll start to see some self-worth in themselves. Doesn't that make sense? Jesus doesn't need you to jump through all the hoops of good modern psychology. He knows everything. God knows everything. The reason why he gives you commands is not because he's trying to spoil your fun. He's trying to say, do this because it will bless your socks off.
This is going back probably 6 or 7 years ago. I'm part of Meadowbrook Church. We sat down and said, well, what would happen if our church didn't exist, if we closed our doors? Would our community know that we weren't around anymore? And so the question became, is how can we be more focused on our community and help out our community? And through various studies and talking to various people, it was determined that the needs of youth in the Leamington and Kingsville community, there was a great need there, even to the point where we were hearing that youth were couch surfing, youth were homeless. And so as a result of that, we created a team. The team formulated into a board of directors here at the Bridge, became the organization called Building Bridges Erie Shores. And so I was a part of that since the beginning. And once they determined that we were able to buy this facility that we're in now at 310 Shirk Street, which was the former St. Joseph's Church, where it was purchased for less than half of what the original asking price was. Wow. So the original asking price was $2 million, and we paid less than $1 million for it. So That was a calling of the Lord. One of the first things that I noticed, that the Lord was definitely in this.
Yep.
The next question was, because I was involved in construction, working for Teamer Exteriors, would I be interested in overseeing the construction renovation project here at the bridge? And so I got involved that way as well. And then it progressed. I had a great job with Tom and Wendy and Greg at Teamer Exteriors. But I sensed the Lord was saying, hey, maybe this is something that I want you to be involved in a little bit more. And so the organization was looking for somebody to come along and take on a temporary role as the executive director. And so I said, okay, I'll do that. So I jumped in there, and at the same time, I was still trying to do Teamer Exteriors work, and I felt I just couldn't do both. And that's when the Lord said, well, maybe it's time you step away from comfort and security and take on a little bit of a uncertain role and see where it leads. And I have been here ever since, and the Lord continues to bless me here and the organization as well. And so it's been a wonderful journey.